Yeah, we have Liliyan and we have, yeah, three of them are here. Okay. Uh, Hello, guys. I don't know, should I say good morning or not, but maybe in some countries it's about to be morning. Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, everywhere. We are here on the third day of our mentorship or global Chevening mentorship, which is managed by some current scholars voluntary in the UK. We are happy today to be with you, and I will give the rest of time for our three friends to manage the activity for today. The style of activity is like that for the people who are participating at the first time. The first 40 minutes will be for three chieftains to mention their experience and some important tips. Each of them will talk in 10, minimum 10 minutes and maximum 15 minutes. So then you'll be having 40 minutes to ask your questions regarding the tips, and if you have any specific or general question regarding the process of interview or maybe application, maybe IELTS or English language requirement, whatever comes to your mind, okay? You're welcome to raise your hand and ask your questions. Be reminded that we will not share this meeting for today. We will not share it on YouTube for some reasons, and hopefully there will be three more mentorships for Friday, next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and hopefully we have enough chiveners to run more activities. But we have to consider the situation. If there's still interest, we can expand the project. Otherwise, we are satisfied with the 6 mentorship meetings, which can be held by 18 scholars, and I think this is fantastic. You are so lucky again, okay? Remember this, 2022 class, you are lucky. Okay, let's start with our friends. Lilian, you can, I don't know who was the first person. I think it was Lilian. Lilian, go ahead.
All right. Hi, guys. Very happy to meet you. Very lovely morning, afternoon, evening. Lilian. I'm from Tanzania, East Africa. Um, Pursuing Masters of Science in International Business and Strategy at Lancaster University. I am a Chevening scholar, and I'm going to share a few tips that really worked for me during my interview. Um, I had a really good experience during my interview, I'm not going to lie. And the first thing that really helped me is that I got prepared. I went through my essays, I practiced. Like, I really knew my essays, I knew everything that I wrote, I knew everything about me that I knew could pop up during the interview. The first tip that I would like to mention is that you should be prepared for the unexpected. And what do I mean by this? Sometimes you can be very prepared, and on the day of the interview, something might happen. Um, Anxiety may catch up on you, or your body or your hormones may start reacting. And the reason as to why I'm telling you this, it's because it really happened to me. I was really prepared. And on the day of the interview, I woke up feeling very sick. I wasn't sick the night before, but I woke up feeling very dizzy. I was vomiting. Like, I didn't see how I was going to do the interview, and I had a morning session. Um, what really helped me is that I had a good support system. I had people that helped me to calm down. And like I said, I woke up really early. So I had time to internalize whatever that was happening to me. I had time to calm down. I didn't read or anything. I just sat there, getting used to because I did an online. So I sat, do you want to mute that person? Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear, and no worries, we didn't understand because it was, I think, African, so everyone is safe. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Gigi.
yeah, we're all safe. Yeah, like I said, what really happened was that my body reacted. I wasn't scared of the interview. I was really prepared, but for some reasons, my hormones or my brain, something really happened. And I thank God that I really woke up early, because I woke up like 6 a.m. And like that's when I figured that something is not right with me. So just get prepared. And I don't know about you guys, if you're going to have I don't know if you're going to have online or face to face, but if you're going to have face to face interviews, just try to arrive on time. Get used to if it's the embassy, get used to the place. Calm yourself, because if you arrive late, so many things may happen. So just try to be on time and be prepared for the unexpected. And the second thing that I would like to share with you is that listen to the questions carefully, because before you answer them, because what I realized is that you will have so much information. You're attending mentorship meetings, you read, you practice, you do mock interviews. So you have so much information with regards to the questions that may pop up during the interview. So what happens is that your brain might trick you, and you can answer a question that you have not been asked. For example, when I got there, the first question I was asked was, tell me about yourself and why Chevening. So I had to take a break, take a breath. I didn't rush to answer. So I knew these are two different questions. So I answered, I told them about myself. And then after I finished, I told them why Chevening. So you can have one question that has a bundle of smaller pieces of questions. So be mindful of that. Make sure you listen to the questions carefully before you answer, because you might answer a question that has not been asked just because you know everything about leadership. You can just give the wrong answer because you know so much. So be mindful. If you have 3 questions or 2 questions in one, break them down and answer them calmly. And if you have not understood a question, those people are very polite. I'd like to assure you that they really want you to win. The fact that you've made it to this interview stage means a lot, and they really want you to do good. So again, just if you have not understood a question, seek for clarity before you proceed to answer. And my third tip would be, if you are asked any question about the UK, like why do you want to come to the UK? Because that question might pop up. I had a similar question. Before you enter to the interview, while you're preparing yourself, find something that resonates with the British people. Find something that the British people are proud of and mention during the interview, because it will make you, it will give you a competitive edge, because this is a competition. So find something that will make you really shine, something that, because I don't know about you guys, but in most interviews you'll have a Chevening representative who is a British person, perhaps, or if you don't have a British person in the panel, your interview is recorded, and I don't know who is going to review, but just find something that is going to, link you and the UK. So if it's culture, if it's the food, for my case, I mentioned fries and fish, and I had in my panel there was a British person. He was very happy. It really shifted the atmosphere of the interview, because they started chatting, laughing, and it really gave me confidence, and I nailed the next questions, because he was like, when you come to the UK, I'll make sure that I make fries and fish. So he really made me comfortable. So just that's what really worked for me. Find something that will connect you to the UK culture. Find something that yeah, for travel, mention Lake District. Yeah, dear. So just find something that the British people really proud of, if it's sports or the culture or the food, anything. Yeah. And the other thing that I would really suggest that you do is that find that question that is going to make you shine, because after the 4 questions, you'll be given a chance to ask a question. Find a question that will display your intellectual capability as a leader, as a person. Just find that one question that will give you edge. For my case, by then there was this COP26 thing that was going to happen in the UK. So I asked about it. They were really happy again. So it really warmed up the atmosphere, because it was not an interview again. It was rather conversation. So find a question that will really make you stand out, because you're going to be given a chance to ask a question. However, don't ask an obvious question that will make you sound unprepared, or just don't ask an obvious question that is in the Chevening page, because you look unprepared. Find something that will really make you sound smart, and something that will make you really prepared and look prepared. And something else is be prepared. You might be asked an additional question apart from the 4 questions, because the 4 questions are graded, but you can be asked an additional question or a follow-up question that is not being graded. For my case, I was asked about the economical situation in my country, and it was a really broad question, so I answered. And yeah, so be prepared. Apart from everything that you've written in your essays, you can be asked an additional question. Carry your passports with you. Maintain eye contact. You don't want to, don't be a robot. Don't just stare. Just be natural, be human, but at the same time, be professional. Maintain eye contact. Don't rush to give answers. Think and then give your answers, and you'll just ace the interview. So yeah, that's what I can share with you. And if you have any questions, you'll ask during the Q&A. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Liliyan. Ntom, you can go ahead.
Hi. Hello, everyone. My name is Ntombizodidi Mapapu. I am from South Africa, Cape Town, South Africa. And I'd like to say congratulations for making it thus far. It's really a great feat. Not everyone got to make it to the stage, but you have. So congratulations and keep up the good work. Yeah, I'm reading a Master of Science in Climate Change and Development from the University of Reading, which is just about 20 minutes away from from London. So it's easy to travel between London and Reading. Just my 5 tips, just to add on to what Liliyan said. Thanks, Liliyan, for the tips. I think the first tip that I have for you guys is to go onto YouTube and watch YouTube videos from previous Chevening alumni. That really helped me. I literally spent almost like a month going through the videos, getting tips from them, listening to the mock interviews, seeing how one should prepare and how they should conduct themselves in the interview. But at that point in time, they were doing face-to-face, and my interview, like Liliyan's, was virtual. So nothing different. It's just that the difference is just face-to-face and virtual. But go onto YouTube, type in Chevening interview tips, type in Chevening mock interviews, and then you'll get what you need to get. They'll tell you how to conduct yourself appropriately, and inappropriately. So you get to see both sides of the coin and learn from the tips. Secondly, don't come across as over-rehearsed. Yes, prepare, go over your responses, go over your plans that you have, but don't come across as rigid. And as Liliyan said, don't become rigid, but show passion, show them your achievements, tell them about your achievements, align what you want to study with your work, your previous work or academic work in your home country, and also the creation of bilateral relations between the UK and also your home country. So don't become rigid, don't become over-rehearsed, be passionate, be free, be confident in how you respond and how you interact with them. Thirdly, As Liliyan said, think about difficult questions. There are questions that will be asked, but there are those questions that you won't be expecting. As Liliyan said, I agree. Calm down and just breathe and answer them. For instance, the question about tell yourself, it's going to be asked. Tell us about yourself. You might think that's an easy question. I'm going to tell them about my achievements and passions, but that question actually sets the tone for your interview. It sets how they're going to interact with you. It actually tells them a lot about you as an individual and how you think and what your future plans are and how you use your qualification that you get from the UK in changing your country and changing relations on your networks between the two countries. So if you'll get that question, but it's actually asking, the panel actually wants to actually know what actually sets you apart. Tell us about yourself. What sets you apart from the other candidates that we've been interviewing in your home country? What sets you apart? Why should you get this award? Why should you get this funding to study in the UK in a prestigious university? So you need to think carefully as well. Don't panic, just slow down, calm down, drink your glass of water and respond. Fourthly, research. Do your research. It's very important how you respond. So for instance, research is very important. And you might think of how you want to use the qualification to make an impact, as I've already said. You would need to provide practical solutions to them, link it with your previous experience, and link it with what you want to do with the qualification using the networks that you have built in the UK and also the networks that you have in your home country. The last tip that I have for you, so no, I've already mentioned that one, which is about how you respond to questions. So basically, that's it. Just calm down, read through your responses, read through your the statement, that the personal statement you submitted, and just breathe, just calm down. Like Liliyan said, I also arrived early for my virtual interview, 30 minutes before, sat down, switched my camera, tested everything. Just arrive early, be prepared, calm down. You've got this, guys. You can do this. You've come this far. You can do this. You've got this. Thanks, dear. Thanks, Liliyan and Yedesdes.
Thank you, Miss. Yedesdes, you can start. Could you please unmute yourself?
Sorry. Yeah. Hi, everyone. I actually thought I unmuted myself, and I have a sore throat, so my voice is currently just out of it. So I hope you can hear me. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, we can hear you. And
yeah, so I'm sorry.
Always take your time.
No worries.
Yeah, I'm sorry if my voice keeps breaking, but I have this sore throat, and I'm having a very my voice is gone. Hi everyone, my name is Yedesdes. I am from Ethiopia. I'm currently studying at University of Sussex and studying childhood and youth studies. And I think most points are covered by both of them. What I have to say is just from my experience, I practiced my answers before the interview, and then I practice in a sense of not memorizing it, but just knowing what to answer and just having points and just not by word, but just having points and knowing if this thing is asked, then I will answer this. If this thing is asked, then I have this point to just elaborate and everything. And for me, my interview was done online. So at least there was that sense of not seeing them, you'll only be seeing them in the computer. So in the sense of that gave me a little bit of freedom to just do and talk however I wanted. But honestly, for me, I had a very good time in my interview. At one point, it actually felt like I was having an informal conversation because they asked me what my experience was and they asked me what I plan to do. And I was talking about back home. I used to work with youth unemployment. So I was talking about how I was going to work with youth unemployment and everything. And one of the person in the interview panel had an experience working within Africa on youth unemployment. So we had like a really nice informal conversation and we were able to click about it. So just what I would say is just be passionate about what you're going to talk about and know what you're going to talk about. And like I said, I practice with my sister. So if you don't find anybody that's it doesn't matter if that person is experienced with the Chevening interview or not, but have somebody with you, like use your circus to just practice the interview. And as like see the YouTube videos in order to know what questions are going to be asked, so that to know how to sorry, how to answer them and everything. And also when you're answering any question that's asked, answer with your experience, in the sense of when you wrote on the essay, you wrote about your experience, right? About leadership, networking, and everything, because they asked about a story and experience. So talk about that. And not only like about what you wrote in the essays, actually, I would say just having a new experience and just elaborating on that area. That's what I did for my interview. I actually didn't use the experiences I had, like I wrote on my essay. I talked about a different experience related to leadership, networking, and everything. And then I connected it to what I wrote on my essays. So have a new experience in mind as well. Just show that you're like a well-rounded and a well-networked and a very good leadership person. And when you talk about your career plan, have a very clear goal in mind and how you want to impact your community as well. Because the Chevening community wants to see how you can go back home and just like impact your community and how you can contribute to your society. So just have that career plan in mind. And honestly, all I can say is like sell yourself as much as possible. Don't be humble. Like be humble, but don't be humble. Like honestly, sell yourself. Brag, brag about what you've done in a humble sense of like not bragging, but brag about how in a humble sense of how you've contributed to your community and everything. And as what they said about why you want to study within the UK, they've said it, just talk about the culture and just how you want to immerse yourself within that culture, and just talk about how you want to see a different culture, how you want to experience music, and talk about how you love traveling, because with the UK is a wide country. So you talk about how you want to see Ireland, Scotland, the different cultures within the UK. So talk about traveling, talk about experiencing and everything. And also, when they asked you about why you want to study and the chosen universities, actually, I would suggest doing your research with your universities as well. Know why you chose those universities. Talk about because of research. I want to learn more about research, and talk about how your experience back home just aligns with what the university is teaching and everything. So research your university, and as always, be prepared to be asked a random question. At one point, they might ask you a random question. I don't remember what they asked me, but I remember being asked a question that I was literally not prepared for. And then I had to be like, okay, just give me a moment, let me think about it, and then replying to it. So there's that. And like all of them have said it, just breathe, be calm. And if it's going to be in person, be there earlier, because if you get there late, then you're going to be nervous, and then that's going to be hard for you. So be there earlier, and then just be prepared and be yourself and literally sell yourself as much as you can. Thank you. I hope that made sense, and I hope you could hear me.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it was lovely and it was helpful. We are really sorry to hurt you, to take your time and you're sick. yeah, this was the first part of our meeting. I just, my friends just remind me some points. I think the interview dates, next 2 days, it will start for some of you. I really recommend you that the night before the interview, if you have family, go out, take your time, enjoy your night nicely, sleep well, and I don't know if you have wife or girlfriend, boyfriend, have a date, go to a restaurant, fresh your mind, okay? Forget tuning, forget scholarship, forget UK, forget everything. Just try to make your day, okay? End it in a good mood, in a positive mood. It will really help you that at the beginning of the day, you're gonna do an important task, which is during interview. Be confident, and you know they're not looking for perfect people. I don't know, we Chileans are somehow crazy. Some of us are telling be humble. No, don't be humble. Be perfect. No, don't be perfect. They are not looking for perfect people. They are looking for perfect candidates. Okay, so be a perfect candidate, not a perfect person. Okay, we have many people. Believe me, I know some people. They have their academic research in Harvard, in Cambridge, and they are very high rank. Okay, they are better than me and maybe most of us, but they can't get Chevening. Chevening is not about very perfect people. It's about very perfect candidate regarding their criteria. Okay, so we are talking about their criteria. We are telling you do this, and don't do this, don't do this. So bear in your mind to be a perfect candidate, not a perfect person. Regarding the why UK, most of you and some of friends are usually asking us, what should I answer regarding why UK? My friends all mentioned some important points. Be simple, talk about sport, travels, tea, talk about milk, I don't know, Scotland. Even for now, currently I'm there, I'm thinking to go to the locations of filming. For instance, I am interested in Peaky Blinders and I want to check their locations, real locations. Game of Thrones, real locations. Okay, so you may mention these things. You may mention that you want to see Ronaldo in the stadium. Why not? So yeah, link these funny points with your academic interests. Academic interests. You want to study because your university is the highest, or your course is the highest. And besides, there are some personal interests, because now I think that they really focus on extrovert people. They want to accept extrovert people, the people who interact, who make networking, because these people can get benefit from the scholarship and can give, okay, can do voluntary activities, can be part of the communities and interact with different peoples. So yeah, be like that. Okay, for now you can raise your hand. We have plenty of time. My three friends will crush your questions. I love the answers.
Sorry, dear.
Yeah, yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry, you just reminded me when you said everything is not perfect. Actually, at one point during my interview, like I literally forgot what I was talking about, in the sense like I couldn't remember everything in English, and then I was remembering everything in my language, and I was like, I'm sorry, just give me a moment. I'm lost in English. And I was like, literally stopped my conversation for 2 minutes, and I was like, I'm sorry, just give me a moment, and then calmed myself down and then continued my conversation. So if that happens, because most of us are not, like, our first language is not English, so just be prepared to have that as well. So if that happens, just tell them, like, just give me a moment, take a breath, and just continue your conversation. That's just what I want to say.
Yeah, that's a good point. Liliyan, go ahead.
To add on that, I had, during the pre-departure meeting, we had a pre-departure meeting for all Cheveners from my country before we came here. So one of the panel members is the Chevening officer for my country. So he was like telling us what really happened during the interviews, and he was giving his 2 cents. And it was like, most of the people who didn't get this scholarship, some of them it's because of faking the accent. You're not English. Just communicate. This is not an English exam or an English competition. Communicate with clarity. Don't fake an accent, speaking the British accent or something. Just be you, so long as you're communicating. Because even if you look at the criteria for the Chevening scholarship, there's nowhere where it's mentioned we're looking for English proficiency. They just want you to be able to communicate. So don't fake an accent, because I think that's a ticket to your failure. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the duty of university to check your language proficiency. Okay, and you get the unconditional offer, so you're safe. It's not that a Chevening concern in these years, at least. Perfect. Okay, raise your hand for questions. We're going to start with Noor. Noor, go ahead. And please direct your questions specifically for one of our three Cheveners.
Hello, everyone. My name is Noor, and I'm from Syria. I have 2 questions. They are really general, so I'm not sure who any one of you can answer me about. One of you mentioned that we need to have the passport with us. So my question is that my passport is expired at the moment, and I'm trying to get the new one, but I'm not sure it will be ready by the interview date. So will be that a problem? My next question is that as Chevening is supporting the FCDO objectives in my country, my question is that I am working in an organization that is funded by partly by FCDO. So, but my plan for studying in UK is to get a more specialized education to be involved more in the programs that I am currently working in. So, would that be a good question, or like it's better not to mention it? Yani, is it good to mention it by myself, or wait if they will mention it in any way?
Thank you. Thank you, Noor. Liliyan, you wanna?
Oh yeah. Regarding the passport, it depends. I don't know if you have. For us, we had a virtual interview, so I think they had to ensure that it's practically you who is there. So I don't know about you. I think they'll probably instruct you or something if they sent you an email or something, but then they just need some form of ID, because even if you're going to an embassy, you'll need some form of an ID. Even if it's an expired passport, you can go with it. With regards to your second question, I'll answer it, and maybe somebody else can add more to it. If you have a question, if you have a question and you really need clarity for anything, if they don't ask you during the interview session, you can ask when you're given a chance to, you'll be given room for, asking questions. So if you need clarity for anything, feel free to answer. Because I remember when I was interviewing, I wasn't so sure if I would be able to come to the UK, because my country by then was in the red list. So they didn't mention anything about it, but then I had to ask. So I asked, and then they told me that they'll make sure that I come to the UK. So if you have anything and they have not asked you, and you really want to get clarity with regards to that, just ask during the Q&A session that you'll be given. Yeah.
Thank you, Liliyan. As an addition for first question, it's quite normal if you have any other documents that attach your name and your picture and your name. It's quite normal, and it's quite normal if your passport is expired. If you have it, you can go with it quite normal and you're safe. Yeah, regarding the second question, I think because you're shortlisted, it means you're eligible regarding the regulations. So you're safe to mention anything regarding UK. And I think, in my opinion, I think it will make your application more stronger and more related to their goals. So you have to find a way to link it with your study. Thank you, Noor. Lamin Dibaba, I think. I'm really sorry if I mispronounce names. Some of them are really difficult for us, because we are in a world class. So apologize for.
Sorry, dear. Sorry,
Yeah,
dear. I'm not sure if you can see. Sorry, dear. I'm not sure if you can see us because I've had my hand up for a while. But just to add on to what you just said about the second question that Noah asked, I think it's a good platform to you just link what the work that you've been doing, with the work of the FCDO. It's going to also show how you'll be able to network and also be able to link the work of your home country and that of the UK. So use that opportunity, just see how you frame the question, and bring it up so that they can see the network or the connection between the work that you've done and you're going to do after you've attained your qualification. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss. You three Cheveners, please feel free to unmute yourself whenever it's necessary because we are focusing on the members, okay? Because yeah, Lamin Dibaba, go ahead and direct your question, please.
Thank you very much, dear, for the initiative, and also thank you so very much for the current Chevening scholars that have guided us through so many beneficial tips and as well as advices. I have basically one question for now, and I hereby direct the question to Ntombizodidi, the Chevener studying at the University of Reading. I am also an aspiring Chevener from the Gambia, and the University of Reading is my first choice, and I have already secured an unconditional offer for the MSc Agriculture and Development at the University of Reading. So basically, I wanted you to tell me some of the events that are organized by Chevening at the University of Reading, ranging from the volunteering aspect of it, or some of the conferences that are done, if any. Basically, what are some of the events organized by Chevening, or some of the events that Cheveners take part in at the University of Reading? Thank you very much.
Nice question. Go ahead.
Thank you for the question. Well, this current cohort hasn't really been organizing any events at the university, but they're the school itself, which is the School of Agriculture, Policy and Development, has a lot of activities that you can participate in. There are a lot of seminars that you can also participate in. As well as there are a lot of programs around the university which you can participate in. I'm participating in a RED Award, which is basically a training development and a voluntary program organized by the university. So upon my graduation, I'll receive my certificate, which is very good because it also helps with employment. Because it demonstrates that you've had your fair share of voluntary work. It's on an individual basis. Everyone is encouraged to participate in it, but do you choose whether or not you participate in it? So the school has various programs. We have weekly seminars outside our normal programs. And there are lots of activities that you can participate in as an individual as well. So when you get here, you'll find a lot of interesting opportunities. It's really up to a person if they want to focus strictly on their academic aspect or if they want to participate in other aspects of the university, and there are lots. So I like participating. Unfortunately, I couldn't play sport this year, so I've decided to do voluntary work. So apart from academic stuff, I do voluntary work here and there. So yeah, thanks for the question.
Thank you. Roa, yeah, you can start.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you very much for having this webinar, and my interview is up next week. And I wanted to ask two questions. It's general, so any of you is welcome to answer. The first thing is somebody told me that we can bring pictures about some activities we have done or from our job in the field and like show it to the interview panel. And the second question is when we are speaking and trying to align the job that we're doing in our country with the job that the embassy or I don't know, the Commonwealth Office do, somebody told me that this is too much information, that it's better that we show that we are willing to collaborate without like giving them this and try to give like statistics and numbers, because this would like give them like an impression that you already knew everything and you are already designing the answers and like forming your answers according to the things that you expect them to like, you know. So yeah, these are my two questions.
What's your major, Rua?
My what?
What's your major? What are you trying to study? What's your course?
I'm a medical doctor. I'm trying to study health policy and public health.
Okay, thank you. Yedesdes, you want to add or answer questions? Do you have any idea about your questions?
Sorry.
No worries. We'll try to not come to you again. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm so sorry. Can somebody else take it?
Take this.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry. Okay, Liliyan.
Okay. If it were me, it's a battle. I would go all in. If there's anything that is going to make me stand out, I would go in, because they're expecting you to. They expect you to wow them. If you have anything that is going to make you stand out, because let me tell you something. You'll be surprised after you're selected for the scholarship. Everyone is exceptional. I met like 15 Cheveners from my country. They were all exceptional, and I was like, I thank God I didn't meet them before the interview, because I would have been intimidated. Everyone is exceptional. So if you have your own bullets, fire them. Fire them, because everyone is going to fire their own bullets. If you have something that is going to make you stand out, stand out. If you have something, they expect you to come prepared. Don't let somebody tell you that, oh, you will appear like Ntobi said, don't appear, don't come with an attitude, you know, but brag respectively. Just show who you are, show exceptional things about you. Brag.
Yes.
Yeah.
Regarding your first question to, I don't know, taking pictures, bringing pictures with you to the interview, I think most or maybe all of the applicants will not bring things with themselves. Even the previous year, I remember some people ask these questions. I think you have to convince them by your examples, by your influence, by showing them what networking you have, what plan you have. You guys all, okay, bear in mind that these panels are not experts. Okay, they're not experts. Maybe 3 of them, maybe none of them know anything about medicine, or I don't know, engineering, or maybe they have some general information regarding the engineering or medicine or any field, but they're not experts. So they're not expecting you to tell them, I have to do this and use this and do this like that. No, they are just looking at your abilities, your skills, the examples that you have mentioned, and what have you done after that submission. What are you currently doing, and what's your plan for future? So if it's me, I will not take. I'm not bring pictures to the interview room because it's interview. It's discussion. You have to convince them by your speech, by your. Yeah. Thank you. We have someone, but I really can't read her name. GKDUD 529. Go ahead. And your name, please.
Okay, I'm sorry. This is my ID. My name is Hayoung-jan. I'm originally coming from South Korea. And sorry, my voice is quite low because it's almost getting 4 a.m. here. I have two questions related to my career plan and yeah. So my field is public health, but I don't have any academic background for public health, but I have one master already for development policy. And for my working experiences, I have more than 4 years of working experiences in Zambia and Malawi and Kenya. And I don't have any working experience here in my home country, South Korea. So I know that Chevening want to like the bilateral relationship between the UK and the host country. And since my home country is in South Korea, how do you recommend me to answer between like the career plan when I'm coming back to my home country? Because I don't have any working experiences here in South Korea. So
what have you mentioned in your essays? What have you mentioned in your essays as short-term plan and long-term plan?
In short-term plan, I would go back to working in the United Nations because I was working in the UN before, and in the long term, I think I wrote about to come back to Korea and working as one of the research center in Korea Health and Social Affairs somewhere under the Ministry of Health. That's what I have been writing, but how can I answer about that one?
Okay, thank you. It's clear, I think.
Yeah.
Mapapo, you wanna say something regarding the question?
Sorry, I wasn't listening to the question because I was responding to questions in the chat. So perhaps Liliyan or Yedesdes can respond, because there are a lot of questions also in the chat, so no one's replying to them.
Yeah, yeah, we are just focusing on the. Okay, I think you have to stick to the essay plan, okay? Because they are agreed on your essay plan, the short term and long term. You don't have to say something that is unreal, or you can't do it, or you have to make some sacrifices to do it, maybe leave your job or something like that. No, be the one that you have mentioned in your essays and just show them what impact you're gonna make for the plan. Okay, I think while you've mentioned that you wanna do some activities in UN and I don't know this stuff, I think it will be okay to mention and show what difference you're gonna make in this field or in this organization. Okay, because Chevening is global. Chevening in one circle is working for everywhere, for 160 countries. It's not only about your country. So I think it's quite normal, as it's my personal opinion. I think it's quite normal if you have global goals in short term and long term. It's possible. Why not?
Yeah, sorry. Can I just add to that?
Okay.
I had the same experience in the sense, like, I was working back home and everything, but my short-term and long-term plan were different in a sense. So my short-term plan was to go back home and work within a project as a project manager that worked within like a youth or child-related thing. And my long-term was just like having my own NGO and just not only working within Ethiopia, but working within the African continent and then just spreading outside the global community. So the good thing is that we have already passed to the interview stage. So that means that they actually like agree with what you wrote, and they see there's a potential in what you wrote and what you're going to do. So just talk about how not only are you going to impact within like your country, but also the global community as well, because Chevening doesn't like, it's not only focused in your country, but has like wants to make a global impact as well. So just, I would say, stick to what you wrote and also talk about the global community in that sense as well.
Thank you.
Let me check who's next. We have Aybars.
Hello everyone, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
I have two questions. One of them is yesterday one panelist said that some universities don't find a IELTS score to study, because if your bachelor's degree, for instance, is in English, you don't have to get a IELTS score. I think he said that. Is it possible? It's my first question. And the second one is, how can we answer the what's your favorite leader and tell about his leadership qualities? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Regarding the first question,
can I answer that one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Regarding the IELTS test, it depends on your university. There are universities which can waive the IELTS test. If you ask them to waive it, they can. But there are instances where it's not, you can't waive it. For instance, in my instance, I had to write the IELTS test. But I found out that from my other colleagues, they had a letter written from their previous institution to indicate that they were proficient in English. So it's up to your university if they'll be able, if they want to waive it. It also depends on where you got your previous qualification. If you've got it from an institution that is rated amongst the best in the world, then most likely you'll be able to waive it. But it depends on the university, basically. If they want to, they'll waive it. If they don't want to, they won't waive it. And then you have to go write the IELTS test.
On what she said, just follow the requirements. Like if you go to the university you choose, they would have their requirements within their website. So just if you read there, it would literally point you out as how, if you need the IELTS or not. So you can find it within their website you chose, like the university you chose.
Exactly. You have to check your country in the portal, and some of them provide it, but it's mostly for the countries that already the English is second language in the countries, or it's the main language for some countries. Yeah, you have to check the universities. And I think we forgot the second question. I can't remember. What was this?
Favorite leader and the leadership qualities. Yeah. Yes.
I want to talk about that one because I mentioned in my essay, they didn't ask me, but I mentioned in my essay. For favorite leader, I think it's a good idea if the leader is in your country, if you haven't mentioned in your essay. If you mentioned in your essay, you have to stick that one that you've mentioned in your essay. But if you haven't, I think it's a good idea to mention someone in your country who everyone respect him or her and see him, see the person as a model in your country. And also it's good if you have networking with that person and how that person made influence you and how that person made you to do something new or something good in your community, in your society. Yeah, some people mention that I'm interested in Barack Obama. Then what? Or Nelson Mandela, with full respect. Maybe the people of their country can mention, but then what? You have to mention someone local, someone who still can make impact on you, can be mentor on you, can be supportive for you. Okay, I mentioned one of the professors of my university. We are lucky that still we have him. His influence for voluntary job is still working on me. He's influencing me. we are here. Maybe the idea was mine at the beginning of the process. We are here because of him, okay? And these all friends, our Cheveners, they have the same models in their countries. Some people push them to do voluntary job, and this is influence. This is a good example we mentioned at this moment. Thank you. We have okay, friend, go ahead. I can't read your name. K. Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yeah. And could you please share your name with us?
Yeah. Okay, so yeah. Can you see me?
Yes, you can hear.
Okay, so I just want to ask the two questions. So the first question is the university, related with the university. So I did not apply any university yet before I had been invited the interview from the Chevening. So recently I applied a couple of the universities, but I didn't receive any university yet. So my interview is very soon, in the 15th March. So in this time I did not receive any university offer. So that will be affect my interview process. That is the first question. And the second the question is that so I'm studying a lot of the interview questions from the YouTube, as well as the former and the candidates, the Chevening, the scholarship persons from the Chevening scholar. So I found that the question is what is your ultimate goal? How can I answer that kind of the questions? That will be general or probably the specific. So yeah, I just want to know that. Thank you very much. Yeah, my question will be there. Yeah. Post.
Okay, regarding it was me, right? She directed to me. Yeah, the first question regarding the universities, it's quite normal to. It's not good. It's not recommended. I wish you could start sooner than now. But you're safe. It doesn't affect your interview at all. At the beginning of the interview, they may ask you that, have you applied for universities? It's good to say yes. So if you haven't applied, you can apply. I think applying universities doesn't take a lot of time. I remember I applied for 2-3 universities in 2-3 hours. Only the second university, maybe the first 2 universities are somehow difficult because you're not familiar with the portals, and yeah. And I think you don't have to apply for more than 3 universities because you haven't already tried to apply for your own universities. So don't try any other universities, only try these 3 universities. But bear in mind, check the eligibility requirements of universities. Check the BA mark, BA degree, and compare it with your BA. Check the English requirements, okay? Check if they require experience. Check everything. If you think that you're fine, then you will be fine. UK universities are not not tough for giving offers. If you have conditions, then they will accept you. Why should they refuse you? They have no points to refuse you. And as you know, in the UK, the higher education is private. It's beside of academic achievements and academic quality, it's also business. So they want to accept, the more people apply, they want to accept it. It's quite normal. And mention in your email with the admissions that you are shortlisted for Chevening. They will consider your application and they will make it faster. Your second question, I really forgot. I'm not okay today.
Okay. So yeah, when I studied the interview questions, so I found that what is your ultimate goal? So how can I answer that kind of the question? That will be probably the general or like the most specific.
I think you have to go with specific for goals, and both short-term plan and long-term plan. I really recommend smarty. I really recommend smart approach. Okay, your goal or your short-term or your long-term should be specific, measurable, actionable, reliable, and timing. You have to mention these points. Check smart approach on Google. You're gonna find many different articles regarding this approach.
Yeah.
And they already I think in their website they have already mentioned to focus on smart approach. So when you focus on smart approach, whatever you say, whatever your goal, it will be clear that is it good or not? Is it acceptable or not? Can you achieve it or not? Even for your daily life, friends, you can use smart approach to check your goals, to check that are they possible or not. Yeah. Thank you. We go with Lourdes.
Hi everyone, can you hear me?
Yes, hi.
Well, my name is Lourdes. I'm from Honduras, and I have 2 questions, I think. Well, 3, I think.
Direct your questions, please.
Okay. Which are the most? I have my first question is, if you know which are the most common questions that they ask on the interview, if there are any tricky questions that we should prepare for, and if there is any dress code, if you have to wear formal clothes or just sneakers and a t-shirt. And well, that's are my 3 questions.
Liliyan.
Okay, for the dress code, no, you have to be very professional. You're a leader, dress like a leader, act like a leader. So no sneakers and jeans and yeah. And the first question, sorry.
Like, which are the most common questions that they ask in the interview, or if there are some tricky questions that they would like to ask?
Okay, sorry. I think the most question will be tell me about yourself, because they want to hear about you and set the tone of the interview. Expect questions around the 4 interview questions. I mean the 4 essay questions, leadership, because I can tell you they'll ask you, tell us about your favorite leader or what's your leadership style, but the questions will be around the 4 questions. So I can say which one is going to be the most common, because the questions that are being graded are around the essays. The trickiest question, every question is tricky if you don't listen carefully and if you have not prepared yourself. So if you've prepared yourself and if you're calm, I don't think any question is going to be tricky, apart from the question that pops from nowhere. I mean, the last question that is not related to the essays, which you can take your time in answer. Yeah.
Thank you, Rusa. Guys, please direct your questions for Chevening. It will easify the process and make it faster. Rusa Ubed, go ahead. Rusa. Okay, we have.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, Rusa.
Oh, sorry, my battery was low.
No
problem. I have 2 questions. The first one was, what do you think the most challenging thing regarding your field in your country? Do they mean the course, or they mean, because okay, let me first start with this. I'm in health science. So now that do they refer to the field as on health, or do they refer to the field as a course? And then to the other question is on now on the dressing code. they said you must work as a leader or be profession. Can one goes like, let me say, if you are a doctor, can one goes like, can one be in a coat to like be like presenting in your profession, or they just need you to be in a casual dressing code? Thank you.
Okay, I will answer the second one, and the first one for maybe Mapapu or Yedesdes or Liliyan. Well, leaders are crazy. Okay, you may go to the hall with a white coat. Why not? I remember, because I'm Kurdish and we Kurdish really care about our costume, our Kurdish clothes. I remember it was 9th of March. It was the Kurdish cloth day. So all even the British panel, he wore our Kurdish costume. So I don't know that the Chevening for that day, did they wear the Kurdish clothes or not, but they really like cultural things, and they are really interested in these things. It's just an idea. You may just go with your coat. You're gonna share your story with your formal dress. It's just an idea. Why not? But I think Liliyan means the formal, the casual, and when we wear it for professional work in, I don't know, in maybe offices and this stuff. So, but you can go with your coat, and we are proud of it. We love it. When we see someone with white coat, we think that we are safe. Why not?
Sorry, what was the second question? I'm busy with the chat. May I please have the second question again? I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. Let me just repeat my second question. The second question was what do you think is the most challenging thing regarding your field in your country? So now, I think I'm not getting that question well. Do they mean the field as in health field? So what are the challenging issue in health, or what are the challenging issues in the courses? Let me say you choose epidemiology. So do they mean the epidemiology side, or do they mean health in general? Are you getting me?
I think I'm trying to get you, but I'll be corrected if I'm not. I think perhaps with regards to that question, it would be related to what you plan to study. So why, in terms of why have you chosen the field? What is the challenge that you want to address in that field as you want to pursue a qualification in the United Kingdom? For instance, I chose climate change and development. And I indicated that the main reason why I chose it was because my issue is that the issue of climate change affects everyone, but at the moment, the people on the ground, the people on the ground, your normal people aren't really involved in policy decisions and addressing. If you're talking about climate justice and climate action, it's all about finding money to finance climate change, but people on the ground aren't really consulted on the issue of climate change, and it affects them because they grow the food on the farms, they work on the land. So I think it would be related to your field and the qualification that you want to study.
Yes. Thank you, guys. Albina, go ahead. Guys, I think it's a good idea. The first day we mentioned that, but I forgot to mention today. However, Mopopo tried to answer some questions in the chat, but we really want you focus here in the speaking part, because I think it can provide more clarification for questions. Albina, go ahead and direct your question to someone, please.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Albina, and I come from Kosovo. I have applied in Royal Agriculture University and in Newcastle. I have finished plant production. So I wanted, I don't know, it's in general, this question, because I wanted to ask, for example, if I don't get if I don't get accepted in those two universities, I'm more focused on sustainable agriculture and food security. But I have also applied at the University of Reading and the University of East Anglia because they have like the same courses. And for example, if I get accepted at University of East Anglia, but if I have a conditional offer, but I don't get accepted to my course of choices that I have in the application, should I do? I mean, because this is what I don't know. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, Yedesdes.
Can I answer to that? Oh my God.
No problem. Go ahead.
No, actually, I faced the same thing as you. So I applied to 3 universities, and the first 2 were like my very choice because I was working with youth and employment, and the first choice was youth and community development, and the second one was youth and international development. So I was really excited for those universities. But by the time I passed the interview and they gave me the offer for the scholarship, both of my first choices had denied me acceptance. So I only got acceptance to my third choice, which was childhood and youth studies. So for me, it was kind of sad not to go to those 2 universities, but it was still a very good thing because I still got a scholarship and I still got an acceptance. So, and I, like, even though it was my third choice, it was something I was interested at. And currently being here and studying both things related to youth and childhood is giving me a very wide perspective of seeing things. So that's what I would say.
Exactly.
Can I just say something else? Sorry. But I mean, for example, what if I don't accept it in none of my 3 choices, but I get accepted to
Have you received any offers in these 3 universities?
I have applied because I have chosen my first and second choice is Royal Agriculture and Newcastle, and my third choice is again Newcastle University, but the course is different from the first choice. But I have applied.
I got your question. I think it's a good idea to make your courses closer. Okay, it will help you to focus on your goal. If you have chosen rural and then development, and I don't know, I'm not expert in these courses, you know better than me, but I think it's a good idea. It's a perfect idea to apply to 3 universities with the same course, with the same title or close title. It's not a wise idea to apply in 3 different courses in the same university. Okay, so you have chance to switch one of universities that you think is somehow not close to the area, not close to the goal, to your short term and long term, exchanged with a university that you have a conditional offer. So you will you in this regard, you're gonna do 2 positive things. First, you have a conditional offer or unconditional offer from a university, and you will make your CV, your portal more narrow. Okay, so I think this may help you regarding.
So I can still change them in my application because I try to, and they are all the same. They are all sustainable agriculture and food security. Just the other one is sustainable agriculture and environment.
Change that one, and don't care about the what do you call it? The order of universities. Just switch it, and tell them you found out that the new university is better and their modules are better. They are more related to your plan and your experience and so on, covered with this nice words. And when you get the scholarship, you're safe. No worries. The first, the second, the third, which one you like, which one you desire, which one you have unconditional offer, you just email the program officer. You tell him, I want second choice, third choice, or first choice. And they will send you final letter. And then you're going to apply for visa and we will welcome you here.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Min, to go ahead.
Everybody, and can you hear me?
Yes. Hey.
Yes, thanks for letting me ask some question. I have some question for my application. Yes, my question will be very general, but kindly answer. One, we are asked, what is your leadership or what is your networking skill? At the time, shall I answer based on my essay, what I wrote, or shall I answer the new extra expedient? Because if I have to answer similar facts included in my essay at the time, it is kind of repeating or something like that. So I would like to know this is, or shall I continue the second question?
Yes, but please, guys, please, I know your questions are all general, but please direct someone. We will not answer general questions no more, okay? Okay, the first question for Dia, second question.
Okay, so second question is related to my career plan or networking. So, in essay I wrote, I would find some UK companies or UK organization to head my country. So actually, in reality, I really love to find the connection of the UK companies or organization to support my country. So, is there any chance or opportunity in the UK to meet such kind of event or such kind of professional job fair like that? I would like to find the networks of connection when I return back to Myanmar. So I would like to know from you, because you are really experienced and currently in the UK, then you may have the great experience. I would like to say in my interview based on the reality experience. So that I would like to say. The second question, for the last, I would say, I'm not sure about that, but I would like to know at the end of our interview, is there any counter question from the interviewer? Like, do you have any question to me to ask like that? At the time, what would be the best question to shoot back to the interviewers?
Okay, thank you. First question me, second Papu, and third one maybe Liliyan or Yedesdes. The first question, the question was, should we mention networking and leadership examples of our essays, or should we mention fresh examples? I think I've discussed this with some scholars. We really recommend to mention new examples that you didn't have chance to mention in your essays regarding the limitation of the words. Okay, and also me myself, what I did, I mentioned one of the leadership examples very briefly, very shortly, and then I linked with a new example that I haven't mentioned in the essay, and I then linked with a current example. So I mentioned 3 examples for leadership in 5, I think it was maximum 5 minutes. And I think 5 minutes is a lot for one example. They will get bored, okay? Why should they listen to you for 5 minutes for one example? Because you have to be, the style is like that. Some people apply STAR approach. Let me write down STAR approach, which is situation, task, action, result. And some people apply STAR approach, which is situation, task, action, result, learning, what you have learned from the example. And I really recommend CAR action, STAR action and STAR action. These first approaches are good for writing genre, because writing can't give you a lot of information in a short time. You have to clarify, you have to make examples expanded to give them chance to understand you. But for speaking, it's easier. Speaking genre is easier. When you expand the process, it will be somehow boring. So I really recommend CAR approach, which is challenge, action, result. Only 3 steps. What was the challenge, and what was your action, and what was the result if it's passed? So I really recommend this approach. And for your main question, please, if you want to mention, if you really love your essay examples, you can mention them, but very briefly, and link them with some current or a current example which is unique and fresh and can make them understand that you're unique, you are the perfect candidates. Yeah, Mapapo, I think the question was regarding the linking between your country and UK.
Yes.
I think from what I could understand from the question, you'll correct me. You're saying that you wanted to link up with companies in the UK that can help you with your career goals in is it South Korea? Is that the correct question?
Myanmar.
Myanmar. So is that the question?
Yes.
Okay, no. That's also part of the networking, which you can gladly mention in your interview. Mention that you want to build relations with countries or with a particular company or company that's related or companies related to the field or your qualification that are also represented in Myanmar. Which will be very good, and it's I think frankly it's easy. You can just go through you can go contact your university and see how you can establish relations with that particular country. I mean, with that particular company. For instance, here at the University of Reading, we have a lot of sessions with external companies. We have seminars. The School of Agriculture has seminars with external companies, and you can decide whether or not you want to have a network with that company and see how that relationship develops. We also have a program called Thrive, which is a mentorship program, which you can also participate in. You just go, they select you to be part of it, and they link you with people across the globe, whether in the UK or across the globe that are in your field. And you can use that also as a networking opportunity. So there are a lot of opportunities. You just need to go find them, and sometimes they find you.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you.
Liliyan, regarding the asking questions, I think Liliyan mentioned that if we just repeat it very shortly, be okay with it. If you have, even it's okay to not have questions. I think it's better to not ask a question that is very repeated than having a question of repeated. Okay, so if you have a specific or I don't know a new question you mind, you want to find an answer. Maybe regarding their culture, regarding the academic, regarding, I don't know, whatever, you can ask. But I think if it's a repeated question, don't ask it, because they already know that I've already got these questions from previous shortlisted applicants. So don't bother yourself and themselves. Yeah, guys, we have only, come on, time is flying. We have only, yeah, thank you, Min, too. We have only 4 minutes, but we will try to expand it for 10 minutes. This meeting will be done. It will not be like yesterday, our friends who were talking about 2 hours. So for each of you, we will take one question, and please direct your question for someone. And we as Cheveners will try to make it faster, okay? So Adi Salam, your specific question, go ahead. Only one question.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me, please?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, Adi Salam, go ahead.
So thank you. I already have put my question on the chat box, but I would like also repeat it. My question is to Yedesdes. What I would like to know is about the resources. I say, like, since we are from the same country, I would like to know, if possible for her, what were the questions that you raised at the end of the conversation while we were given the chance. Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry. I remember asking 2 questions. Honestly, I don't remember the second one. one of the questions I asked was because it was during the COVID time and everything, and they were talking about networking events and everything. So I asked them within my term time if the events were going to be held in person or online, and they just replied saying we don't know and everything about that. And honestly, don't remember the second question I asked. Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alif Salam. Roland, Maddie, direct your question and please one question. Go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, Roland.
Okay, thank you so much. I will let you, Dia, choose the person to answer to my question, please.
Okay.
I have two questions.
One question, please.
Okay, Nopi, thanks. So my question is, if you have to start a position out of your country, are you still eligible to be a chiefna? As you are supposed to go back in your country and for 2 years at least, if I'm right. Thank you.
Liliyan?
As far as I'm aware, you're supposed to go back home for at least 2 years. So one thing that I know is that if there's something really exceptional, if you get the scholarship, you can contact your program officer, and then they can have arrangements with regards to that if it's really something that can be done. But you're supposed to go back home for at least 2 years.
Yeah, and I think you don't have to mention this at this stage. Who knows, maybe things may change in next 6 months or next year. You have 1 year study, finish your study, you may have better plans, better positions, better promotions. Okay, I think it's not a wise idea to mention it if you're really eager to study in UK. After 1 year, you have enough time to discuss this with your program officer, and yeah. Thank you, Iman Nasser. Go ahead, one question, please.
Possible to be 2 questions. I have listed 4 questions, but I'm going to only 2 of them. Both of them, it makes me very nervous.
Because you're from my country, I accept 2 questions. Sorry, guys.
Thank you for your kindness. First one, I have graduated English language, English department, but my course, what I have chosen, it is media and cultural studies. So I'm afraid during the interview, if they ask me why you switched to media, so I don't know actually how to deal with this one, even though I have 15 years background working in media and cultural activities. But still, when I think about this, I feel very nervous and I don't know how to answer this question. This is first. Secondly, when I applied for Chevening, actually by the like only a couple days was remaining when I applied. So finally I decided, and only in 2 days I have written down all the essays. But after submission, I found out that I did some mistakes during the essay. Like it's a contradictory. I put some contradictory information between my personal detail and comparing to the essay. For example, in the leadership and influence, I mentioned that when I was 15 years old, I started working on media. While in the personal detail, the first TV channel that I have worked, it is when I was only 12 years old. So I don't know where I got this 15 years old. Still, I cannot remember. But I just like when finally I printed out my essays, I was finding that I put 2 contradictory information. One of them was this one, and second one, I put the current, my current job, which is related to business part. In the personal detail, I put it 2018 to 2020. While in my essay, I'm mentioning that currently I'm working this and this. So I'm just wondering, is this contradictory information between my personal detail and between the essay is creating any problem for me? And thank you so much for your time that you have given to us.
Thank you, Iman. Regarding the first question, I will introduce you someone who studied English language and he got the scholarship in media, and he's a Kurdish guy. He may help you. For the second question, I don't know. I'm not sure, but I think you're shortlisted. You're safe. So you may tell them that you have done some mistakes, some funny mistakes. They may like it. They may be interested in it. I don't know. Don't take it so seriously. They're human. They can understand that people make mistakes. You may just tell them that you're in rush. You couldn't revise your application. And
So Kaldia, sorry, shall I mention by myself that I have put this miss
yes,
that I did? Shall I mention by myself?
What do you think, Liliyan? What do you think, guys?
If it were up to me, I wouldn't mention. If they ask me, I would clarify. Just run, because you have gotten this far. They were happy with your essays. It's now to show who you are. It's you who wrote the essay. Just nail the interview. Don't focus on what happened with the errors and all that. Just run through your new story. Don't focus on, oh, I did this or did. Just if they ask you, clarify. If they don't, run through with your story. And with regards to your background, I had a very different background. I never had a business background in terms of education, and I'm doing business, and that's not an issue so long as you elaborate clearly in your career plan and link your choice of courses to what you intend to do after your studies. So it's not an issue at all. So you shouldn't be worried. Yeah.
Thank you, Giselle. Giselle, go ahead.
Hi, thanks for your time. I would like to address this question to Liliyan. And can you further explain how you answer? Tell us about yourself. Well, my bullet points are like academic, professional background, some achievements, and maybe hobbies. Thanks.
Yeah, just structure your question first, because you're going to be asked that question. So structure it like Yedesdes said. You don't have to memorize. Structure it. If you're going to start with yourself, with your education, professional background, and your achievement, something that will really make you stand out, because you have so many things. I'm going to give you a very practical example. I saw this YouTube video while I was preparing myself, and this lady said she didn't know what to say about, with regards to that question, and she went to the beach. She just sat down and she started thinking about her entire life, what she did. She started writing what she did since she was young, then she started, picking the things that were really going to make her stand out. So just have like a structure, then practice around that. And you can also check me. I can give you more tips. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Mahnur Khan, go ahead.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you so much for all your invaluable help and time. So basically, my question is about reference letters when applying to universities in UK. Basically, my background in education is not related to what I want to do in the UK for my graduate. So I wanted to ask, should I give an academic reference and a professional reference, or should I give both professional references because my professional work is related to what I want to do? So just for context, my undergrad degree was in business, while I want to specialize in special education, and I've been working in this field like professionally, but I don't have a degree. So would you recommend giving one academic reference and one professional, or both professional because they're more linked? Thank you so much. And my question is directed to you, Dr.
Okay. I don't know if the university requires you experience. I think it's a good idea to, because usually they ask 2 or 3 references, mostly 2. If they ask you professional experience, I think it's a good idea to submit your academic and professional reference. But if it doesn't focus on experience and having experience in that field, maybe 2 academics are okay. For me, I really, even for Chevening and for universities, I submitted 2 different references, 1 academic, 1 professional. I think it's good because it covers you from academic aspects and also professional aspects. Thank you, Maria. Go ahead.
Hello. My question is for DR. I would like to know, how do you meet all the other participants in this meeting? All the other alumni, Chevening alumni, and if there's any event for the Chevening alumni when did you get to the UK? Thank you.
Yeah, good question. First, we have our class group. So when you get the scholarship, the first month you're gonna receive a Facebook link. You have a private class. All tuners are in one group. The group is deactive actually. I think when we post something, we post our activities. Mostly 20, 30 people like it because everyone is busy with their exploring and activities and studying and so on. And we have some activities that second month, I think. There's a competition like 2 colors teams. For this year, they were blue team and red team. There are about, I think, 70 or 80 universities in UK, maybe. So the Chevening has divided groups for 2 colors. For instance, I was a red team. Me and Liliyan, we were blue team, and we got the competition. We were very discovered, and we were traveling everywhere. They put some books and some spots in some strange places. So we were trying to find this stuff and take picture as team with a blue color, and we would share on social media. So we receive points. Okay. I'm sorry, Yedesdes and Mopopo, if you are red team, we beat you. We are really sorry for that one. Yeah, it was like that.
It's our fault. It's fine. I'm on red team, and yeah, we don't travel. It's just, yeah, no.
Okay. Okay. Even some of the blue team, they try to. We had spies in red team groups, so we could get their locations, and so yeah, we were active team. Thank you, Milani. Your question.
Okay, thanks. Can you hear me?
Yes, Milani, go ahead.
Okay, so I have a problem with one question that I read. It was about why do you prefer to go to UK instead to go to the US? And the problem for me is that in the part of the application that you wrote, if you apply to other scholarship, I put Fulbright, which is for US. So I don't know how to face this question. I mean, UK is a really good, has a really good universities. However, also US. So, but I don't know how to reply to this.
Yeah, I had a friend. I had a very quick answer. I had a friend. He was studying FELTA. It's not Fulbright. It's a part of Fulbright. He was studying in. He was working in UK as a scholarship. He had his interview online with our Kurdistan court, and he got a scholarship. He's studying in UCL, and even we were discussing this. We are friends. He said they asked me this question: have you applied for any other scholarship? And he told them, yes, I've applied for this scholarship, and I'm confident that I will get it. They've already offered me the master's degree, but I prefer UK because I think UCL is better and it's the first ranking in educational leadership and so on. Yeah, it's quite normal to mention this if you have done this, if you have applied. It's quite normal to mention. Why not? It shows that you're confident, you're eager, you're passionate, you want to study, you're interested, you're not easy. Yeah, why not? If you have applied, yes, mention it. Thank you. Ferden, go ahead, guys. We will not take more questions, I think. Ferden, go ahead.
Actually, I wanted to ask a silly question. For example, I have online interview, and I have online interview. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm confused about my attire. What type of dress should I wear? Because I'll be in my home
Yeah.
during the interview.
I think you remember the first day, Ricardo, he was he was terrible. Yeah, so I think normal, maybe a jacket, maybe no, not suit, because suit is very formal for online meeting, but yeah, maybe a shirt, normal, like me, like right now, like Lilian, everyone.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ferdan, for your question. Cheyenne, go ahead. Kurdish name.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing? I hope you're having a good day. I had a question regarding the fees. The course that I have chosen is at £26,000, and as far as I know, that Chevening only offers £22,000. So how am I going to fill that gap?
What's
Sorry?
your course? Is it MBA?
My course is no. It's renewable energy and architecture.
You're fine. You're fine. No worries. This condition is only for MBA. Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's only for
Okay,
MBA. For medical courses, some of them are more than 50,000 pounds. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
it's a lot. You're safe.
Thank you. Good luck for everyone. Bye.
You're welcome, Shayan. Lamin, I think. Lamin, is it second time? If it's second time, you may help us.
Okay, thank you so very much, dear, for giving me the opportunity to ask yet another question. Like previously, this question is going to be directed to Ntombi Mapapu because we see a similar interest. She is currently at the University of Reading, and this is the university I actually want to be by next year this time. Mapapu, can you hear me?
I'm listening.
I wanted to know the 3 British culture that you admire, and also what 3 British culture that surprised you while at the University of Reading. Basically, the cultures you admire and the cultural shocks that you had. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I think that's also a personal question that you can research and respond to. I can give you my responses, but you'll have to research and align yourself with that. Yeah, I think what I admire is perhaps the architecture, although there's some architecture which is similar to South Africa because we were colonized by the British. I think I can't remember what else actually, but I admire the architecture. I admire the landscape of the country. It's quite different, as well as perhaps the politeness of the people around here. The culture shocks were it's very different from South Africa. People aren't very friendly. They keep to themselves. Also the food is terrible. I don't want to lie. The food is terrible, especially the meat. And perhaps the shock is also the weather. The weather, it's quite cold here. It's supposed to be spring now, but you're experiencing -1 and -2. So yeah, those were the shocks, and but if you need more information, I can Dia can give you my email address or my number or WhatsApp number. Sure.
Thank
Sorry.
you.
Sorry,
That
dear.
would be good. Yedesdes, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I have to go. It was nice meeting you all. And good luck.
Okay.
I wish you the best.
Thank you. We were only taking, I don't know, we really should leave it, but no, Rua, no questions. Okay, Tinik 2, go ahead, and Adama, we will just accept 2 questions and we will leave it. Yedesdes, you can leave. Have a good night for you.
Yeah. Bye, Yedesdes. Hoping to see you next month.
Tynik too, I think.
Hello.
Hello, go ahead, friend.
Hello. 2 questions, please.
Yes, we can
My
hear
first
you.
question will be directed to Liliyan, and the second question will be directed to Dia. My first question is, Liliyan, is the Chevening help to connect, like, because for our short-term goals, we need like organizations that share our vision for our country. Does Chevening help us to connect with those organizations to come back to our country and have impact? The second question is to Dia. Do you or have you met any Cheveners who have been able, because it's like you're good with networking, who have been able to get those opportunities and who have been able to get like financing for those projects back?
Hello?
Hello, Liliyan, go ahead.
Okay, if I got the question correctly, he wants to know if Chevening helps us to connect with organizations that can support our activities. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. First of all, being a Chevener coming to the UK, it's an opportunity by itself, because you're not, you won't get a manual as to do this or do what. Okay. So when you get to the university, what I saw that is different from the universities back at home or in my country is that there's so many opportunities in the university that you're going to attend to. Like Mapapu said, companies attend, you have guest speakers coming to your lectures, you have sessions, so you can take advantage of such sessions. And I think Chevening also organizes some events. And I think, unfortunately for us, due to COVID, we couldn't meet as I think the previous cohorts did, but definitely you'll have opportunities to meet with different organizations. But then you can also take your own initiative and, find the organizations that you really want to interact with. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. Well, I guess that answers my question. No need to answer. Don't need for. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Adamo, the last question for today.
Hello.
Hey, Adam, go ahead.
I hope you can hear me. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead. Good evening, Adam.
Are you okay? Thank you. My question is this: when you are asked about what are your weaknesses, how do you address that question, please? That's my question. Thank you.
I think it's a not wise idea to mention your weakness. You may there's a trick, and it's an old trick, but however it may work, because nowadays they don't ask these questions. They rarely ask these questions. But if they ask you, you may say something. Maybe you had a problem in time management, or I don't know, maybe sleeping, or maybe a habit. Okay, but then you overcome your problem with a course, or maybe you thought that this is not good, this is not helping you. These questions are good for job interviews, for these types of interviews. I think you will not face it. Even if you face it, it's not a wise idea to mention a weakness. Even if you mentioned, you have to support your weakness that you have fixed. You have fixed the problem, because weakness, it means problem. Thank you, guys. It was lovely to be with you. You're welcome. It was lovely to be with you. We really thank Liliyan and Mapapu and Yedesdes and you guys from all the world, from different countries, different backgrounds, different names, different nations, beliefs, colors. This is amazing. We hope we will meet you next week, and some of you already take your interviews. We wish you best luck, and if our friends have any other comments, otherwise we yes, Liliyan.
Guys, all the best. The fact that you've made it to the interview stage, it means they were really happy with your essays. So it's just up to you. Just go and nail it. Be prepared. I would say you're very lucky to have such mentorships. I didn't have it back then when I was applying. So you guys leverage this opportunity. If you can attend all mentorship sessions, do practice, and you'll just nail it. So all the best. And I'm looking forward to get good news from you next. Is it this year, at the end of the year, when you come to the UK? Yeah.
Mapapu.
Yes, congratulations to everyone thus far. You have done a great and stellar job. Continue, guys. Be confident. Focus when you're in the interview. Be confident. Be confident. Be yourselves. You've done it thus far. It means that you are going to go for it. Just focus, guys. Don't think about anything else. Don't stress. Don't worry about. Just focus on your essay questions, and then do your best. Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to say thank you to Dia and also to Liliyan for taking time out. I think, Dia, thank you. This is a great initiative. Like Liliyan said, we didn't have such a support system, but Dia came through and asked us if we don't want to help those that are about to go into their interviews, and we put our hands up and we're here. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I'll put my handles also in the chat, so if anyone wants to get any further help. But thanks, Dia. Thanks, Liliyan, for your time as well.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night. Good sleep.
Wait, let me put my handles.
Yeah.
Let me put my handles for Twitter and for Instagram.
Okay.
There we go, guys. All of the best. Thanks, Dia.
Bye.
Okay, bye, guys. Bye,
Thank
Dana.
you.
Bye, Iman.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks,
Have a
Liliyan.
great time.
What else do you have?
Goodbye.
Lamin, Adamu, Ferdin from Bangladesh.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Afaf, Arabic name. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Fitsium, I think. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Yeah, really, you are impressive.